Hello, my name is Michelle Smith and I'm here to talk to you about my invention, the StickiButt. I first thought of the StickiButt on the 6th of May 2008 as a result of a conversation with a friend of mine who said that she didn't want to go on the back of a motorcycle because she felt that she would slide off the back. And I thought, yes, I've actually felt as a pillion passenger that I might slide off the back too, and it could actually present quite a problem for people that are fearful of motorcycles. And then I also thought, actually, as a motorcyclist, I don't like the feeling of a pillion passenger sliding around behind me, especially when braking, because they quite often slide into me, which then destabilises me and the bike, and it's very uncomfortable for all of us. So I thought it would be a really nice idea to stick somebody in place so they would be still. So I then had to think, how am I going to stick someone to my bike? I thought seatbelt idea isn't a good idea, because if you need to get off the bike quickly, say if a juggernaut is coming, then the last thing you're going to do is think of pressing an emergency button to release the seatbelt. So then I thought, poppers, maybe poppers would do it. But then poppers would have to be riveted to the seat, you'd have to have certain clothing and so on. So then I thought, no, poppers aren't suitable for this. Then I thought of Velcro. Velcro, it's wonderful, it sticks to things, and when there's a pressure against it, it will stay stuck. However, if you want to peel it apart, it will peel apart, and quickly, without any cognitive thought process of pressing buttons and so on. Which then led me on to the next question: how am I going to stick the person to a bike using Velcro? So I thought of clothing. Integrated into the clothing, Velcro can be sewn, and then I thought that means it's not one size fits all, it's not universal clothing, clothing's for individuals, so therefore that idea is not a very good one. Which then led me on to the idea of a harness. Using a harness, it could be fully adjustable, so it could be one size fits all, and it really doesn't matter whose it is, you know, it could be used by anyone, children, adults, what have you. So I thought, how am I going to make a harness? What would it look like? Fortunately, a previous lodger had left a climbing harness in my garage, which I'd never used. So I went and collected it, and I got some cardboard, and got an old towel, and stuck the cardboard to the actual harness using gutter bolts, and then I got some Velcro strips, stuck them to it. That's actually self-adhesive strips using staples, no less. And there we have it, the prototype, the first prototype. So I went and found some self-adhesive Velcro to stick to the bike itself. Got a couple of people to come and be my pillion passenger, rode around a little bit, and it worked. The fantastic thing is this rough, very rough harness worked. I used it with a variety of people. The smallest was a girl, probably about 5'6" and about 7.5, 8 stone, and the largest person was probably, I'd say, my dad, who is about 6'1" and about 12 stone. However, there was one girl in between that who's about 5'7" and about 16 stone. So I knew that where weight was concerned, it was going to hold people. And at the same time, I also could tell, through using it with these people, that it was easy for them to actually get off the motorcycle. For instance, they just sat on it, got wriggled into position a little bit, Velcro stuck quite nicely. When they wanted to get off the bike, they just peeled off, got off as per usual. No destabilisation of the bike. So I was really chuffed, I knew it worked. So then I thought, what have I got to do next? Well, I really didn't know. I was stuck. I then went onto the internet and I just typed in the word inventions and saw what come up. The Intellectual Property Office is one of the highest rankers, and I clicked on there, and then it starts talking about patents, trademarks, registered designs, and a whole host of new language that I'd never known. So after quite a bit of reading, I thought, right, I need to find myself some sort of protection for this, and because it was, a new idea, I thought that maybe I could go for a patent rather than a registered design to initially start out with, because ultimately I still didn't have a decent design. I mean, for instance, you wouldn't walk down the road or use something that looks like this. It's basically made of gutter bolts and an old bit of toweling. So I knew my design was going to change in time. Obviously the manufacturing process is later to come as well. So that led me on to getting some more information off the net about patent attorneys and so on, which I think we will talk about in the next video of me, and our next progression, which will be looking into patent attorneys, intellectual protection, and basically where I went next to help solidify my idea as an invention. Thank you very much for listening.